We're starting, and I think we're live.
Hey, everybody. I'm Kilroy. Welcome to the Wes Smith Variety ShYo. I'm hiding myself today because I have this awesome shirt on, and we've decided that if I wear the button here, that this has to be undone.
Has to be done.
Anyway, it'll probably come undone because I have like this phobia of things around my neck. So anyway, welcome everybody, and welcome Josh Wilsdorf. You can see him.
Thank you, sir.
Say hello. And Kelly, Agent 137 Ross, from New York. Hey, Josh, where are you sitting today?
I am sitting in my living room in Nashville, Tennessee.
I already have to do away with it, guys.
Oh, come on.
That didn't last. Oh, I mean, I'm with you. I can't stand it around my neck like that.
It was fun, though. Please send all your fan mail if you like that outfit. I'll try to find a way to bring it back. But anyway, Nashville, Tennessee, dude. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Couple housekeeping things I usually do at the beginning is one is let's see, show dates for anybody. Show dates coming up. One for me, 2 in October. I'll be doing something at SD Utopia, which is the official regional burn in San Diego. I think it'll be with Monarch. Talked with those guys last week. I think that's what it'll be. I'm just gonna try to play once there. Like people play like a lot of times, which is cool, but I can't handle it. So I'm gonna do one. I'm trying to do one really good set. And then I have United by Bass show also here in Southern California, and that is actually the weekend before SD Utopia. So that is I'm probably gonna get it wrong. I think it's the 14th, but it is that weekend. United by Bass. Whole bunch of people out at the World Beat Center in Balboa Park. That'll be awesome. Also, they're playing with a lot of people, but playing at least the stage I'm on. I'll be closing it out after the homies Evlo and Cole Vassallo. They're awesome. They do the Juice Day Out parties with me, and Cole is also referred to as Young Colin, who you may hear us talk about every now and then, but no one's maybe ever even seen him on here. Maybe he's on the bus. I don't know. What about you, Josh? What do you got coming up, man? What kind of show? Anything in October coming up that the world should know about?
Yeah, we have a couple coming up. I play downtown a lot, Nashville, to pay the bills. So I'm playing at a couple of honky tonks, but they let me play what I want. You know, they turn the lights off pretty much, got some nice subs, and let me go at it. But I got to kind of, throw in some top 40s, usually hip hop in there, get the girls dancing. But other than that, some good party basics shows. We have Rooted, Dance of the Dead. It's a Thursday, the 26th. Haven't released a lineup for that. And we have another one at Further Farms the Saturday after that for Halloween. All Hallows Gala, and we haven't released a lineup for that yet either. Man, I'm trying to keep up. We just had Golf Clap last weekend.
You're going wild there, man. When was that I came out there? Was that last year or before that?
Wasn't it for it was about a year and a couple months ago, because it was for Serendipity. It was the same time. I remember
it would have been last year, like sometime in May or June.
Yeah, so like a year and a half maybe. You need to come back out this way, man. We need to do some breaks out here. I've been talking breaks today, actually, randomly. I'm trying to link up.
I only play techno now, so sorry.
Man. I knew it. You just turn the brakes up a little faster.
Yeah, dude.
It's that button.
You do like this. You take a break beat and like if this was a break beat, right? Then you just go, and that's Dirty Bird.
Oh yeah. Are you going Dirty Bird?
No, dude. I've been called a Dirty Bird, but I'm not called Dirty Bird. I would like many things. I would go Dirty Bird if there was some crazy opportunity around that, but let's just say that there isn't, and there isn't. So the reason that I will say, the real reason I say I won't go Dirty Bird is because for me, before I ever heard of Dirty Bird, the label, there's like a buffalo wing place right across the street from where my studio is, and it's called Dirty Birds.
Oh shit!
It's always really hard for me to like have any kind of loyalty or allegiance to Dirty Bird music because I have to have it to Dirty Birds, the restaurant. So
shoot, you could have both.
Yeah, you could.
Actually, I don't rep them too hard, but I did order this all black Coach jacket with just a bird, like the cracked egg. That's like the only gear that I have from them. But
I mean, aside, I mean, I can't say that I know all that much about the music. I went and heard, you know, Claude Von Stroke. I went and did that because I thought, you know, anybody, whether I know much about them or not, like really music, their stuff, like anybody who I know is just kind of really made a mark and contribution in some interesting way in this whole electronic music thing. I'll always go try to check them out if they come through San Diego or I happen to be somewhere.
Have you met Mark Starr by chance? He moved out there.
Who?
Mark Starr. He does a lot of break stuff, but he messes with Dirty Bird, and I think he does like A&R for Perfect Driver, which is like another label that does kind of. Yeah, you guys should link up, man. I'll message you guys in a group. You guys have probably come up with massive shit.
That'd be cool, man. Let me make that connection.
Hey, and then we can look back at this video, and I'll be like, "Told you."
Like, that's where it happened. That's where it happened, my friend.
Seriously, but yeah.
What's real quick before I lose train of thought on this one is what's a honky tonk, dude? You mentioned that word twice. So what is that?
Yeah, I'm from Las Vegas. I guess I got used to Nashville after 10 years. It's basically just downtown. It's just like a slew of bars and like drunk people. And it's like the #1 bachelorette capital of the world. So for like 40 years is nothing but blues and country music. But like I've been here for 10, like going at it. Well, they just started letting people in down there, DJ wise. Like
I was gonna say they just started letting you into bars.
No, DJs though, instead of live music. Okay. They're like DJs now are making money, and you know, like there's a need for it down there for dance, like different styles of dance music. Right. So I get away playing like a few different spots, like you know, pretty choice. It's not as cheesy as some places I've played, and it's paying pretty good out here. So don't you move out here if you're a good DJ.
DJing is the absolute death of live music, dude.
Yeah, well, not real. I mean, it can be overdone too. I think at a certain time at night, you know, maybe because I like live music, I like jam bands. But then at like a certain switch, it's like, all right, I'm ready to go, like take this party to the next level.
Yeah. Well, and my comment on that is because like is coming more from a standpoint of like fostering creativity among the creators, you know, artists or producers or whatever, because it's interesting, right? Like, I mean, to have a band, you know, if all things are the same and you can have a band of 5 or more people, which is a lot of times the case, you can have them play for, you know, whatever amount and bring in 500 people, and you can do the exact same thing with a single DJ. Then as the promoter or venue owner, you clearly have a business advantage with the DJ for negotiating and profiting, right? So that's why I say the death comment. It's nothing to do with you know, anything personal. It's just it's a piece of business, right? So,
and you have one personality to deal with instead of 5.
It's everything that a lot of people, you know, might hate about capitalism, but it's like a shining example. Like the whole entire EDM thing is really like. And like I said, that's not in a bad way. It's just a factual observation of the business.
Well, hey,
getting a little heavy out early, huh?
we jumped straight in. We jumped straight in because I forgot to note that Mr. Wilsdorf, you know, is an event producer.
Yes.
So he's on that side of the coin, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, I wish I didn't have to be, but damn, there wouldn't be much going on out here. They're keeping me busy. I'm like, geez, there could be 3 of me working full time.
Right. Like I wish that my head wasn't on that backdrop. That's why I'm trying to like, I keep rearranging the setup here.
Not perfect. Just turn to the side.
Oh, dang. I didn't even notice that. That's perfect, man. Does it keep up when you change your facial hair? Like, you're not going to.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, man. 100%. Always. So, all right. Well, that's what a honky tonk is, man. I just heard you say.
Yeah, it's basically, it used to just be like a bunch of honkies, like line dancing. Now it's like a shit show. Just they call it Nash Vegas, and I can kind of barely see it now. just like a crowd of just like thousands of people getting drunk.
If you okay, so I like that from your ground zero there with that situation. Now, if you were to guess at how close would you guess your definition is to the Wikipedia definition
Of what?
honky tonk?
Oh, I don't know. Probably not close.
This is intense. Wait a second. There's like four pronunciations, but aside from that, it is both a bar that provides country music for the entertainment of its patrons and the style of music played in such establishments. Bars of this kind are common in the South and Southwest United States.
Yeah.
I just thought it was country music, like honky tonk was like line dancing and country music.
That's what I thought too, but now like my friends think I'm like, hey, if you're honky tonking, stop by here and here, nudies, hit the.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
the term has kind of been modern. Oh shit! Wait a minute. Wikipedia doesn't disappoint. The modern day honky tonk atmosphere has continued with the likes of Dwight Yoakam.
Ooh.
Oh, they could put. Oh man, I'm a honky tonk DJ, I guess.
And they show a picture of Tootsie's Orchid Lounge in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh yeah, I know where. I'll be across the street tomorrow night. Yeah, we got to go down there sometime next time you're in town. We'll have to hit it up.
My point being to all the listeners is that we are on with the real deal here from Tennessee. He knows what's up.
Deal.
He nailed it without even. We did not pre-plan that, and it's like, when you go to Wikipedia and look something up, and there's a picture of a place that or actually work at or belong to or come within 50 feet of on a regular basis, that's kind of some legit shit.
That's the real deal.
You played like a mile from there. I don't know if you remember.
No, I'm really.
You were like that brewery with like it was a Bearded Iris. I don't know if you remember the checkered floor. It was like
I do. That was a great idea.
Yeah, they quit letting me do parties there because people destroyed, like, they only had 2 bathroom stalls, and their floors got fucked up. Like, yeah, we're friends, but they don't let me do events there.
Sometimes that's better to not do events with your friends.
I did.
I know. Yeah, those people were cool. They were like a little brewery kind of there on the outside, like micro craft brew thing, and they travel around the country some, right? They had like a truck or something. They take beers to festivals and stuff. Like,
yeah, they're doing their thing,
like Bonnaroo and things like that, right?
Yeah, they do Bonnaroo. They've blown up out here. They're doing pretty well.
What was the name of that brewery again? What was it?
Bearded Iris. In fact, I'm trying to get Decline on the 15th.
You're doing what?
Decline coming over for the tour. I hit him up today to see if we could do our Christmas party over there with them. I'm hoping they give me a thumbs up.
All your parties is Party Basics, right? That's your thing? That's your promotion name?
Yes, sir. Partybassics Nashville. Just trying to get 2 S's out here.
With 2 S's.
Yes, sir.
So tell me all about that, man. When did that start? I know it didn't start when I came out there. So what's the road to Party Basics, man?
Well, I moved here from Vegas and I was just looking for events, and there wasn't really. It had turned mainstream somewhat almost, and like house music has died out. No breaks were going on, so I kind of just got the itch. I was like, at first I wanted a DJ, so that was like my goal. And then as the party started going good, I met so many friends that were DJs. I was like, I'm not gonna, play these parties anymore because this is it's kind of cheesy to throw a party and then play it when you could give a slot to someone that doesn't really get the time. So I kind of started off of that and just kept the ball rolling. I love hooking. There's so many good DJs in Nashville. That's like half the reason. Just like giving them shine time is like deserved.
Who are some of those?
Waddy Green. He's one of my favorites. He's been in the area for like 20 years. I met him through Mark Farina. What up?
How do you spell that?
Wattie. And then Green. And
Waddy Green. That's got a nice ring to it, dude.
Yeah. Oh, he's the man. You'll have to play with him next time you come. That'd be perfect.
Cool, man. Yeah, he's got I'm looking at a bunch of his pictures online here. It's cool. There's somehow or other there's a thumbnail from a Britney Spears video that's mixed in with him, but whatever.
That's probably his thumbnail. Oh, you mean like a thumbnail picture?
it's all the thumbnails, dude. Hold on, I'll show you.
Right.
We got tools for this, dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we don't mess around, man.
You got tools.
After you go down the rabbit hole there. Yeah, look. Wow. Is that your boy?
Yeah, that's the homie.
And see there, you just scroll down a little below the fold, and there's Britt.
He's almost pro now. Look at him.
you can tell him we Googled him, and his images he's got 3 rows before Brittany.
He played pretty good the other night. I enjoyed his set for Golf Clap. He played because he's friends with, he has a label with Hugh from Golf Clap called Coyote Cuts, and he smashed it. They all did. I was not like I wasn't expecting that, but you know.
Awesome, man. So who else? Waddy's in the house. Who else you got?
Real Time Hand Motion. That's some other house guys that have been doing their thing since.
Was that hand motion or lotion, dog?
they get shit about that motion.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
Motion in your motion. I don't know.
They go by RTHM. Is that kind of their acronym? They're like.
Yeah, they're both like pretty successful in separate fields. Like Christian is like a programmer for like Luke Bryan. He like coordinates the music with Ableton. I don't even that would be a whole nother interview, but that guy's on one. And then Christian does a lot of virtual reality gaming, like design. So he's like writing programs. These guys are just like, they don't need a DJ, so it's like a side hobby. Like I'm waiting to hear back for him to play by a Halloween show. Either one. I'm just like, come on, guys, please. Right. They kill it. They stay up to date, like in their sets. Is
that them? Is that their thing?
Yeah, they're doing work. They've been putting stuff out on that.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
there you go, folks. Check them out. You heard it from Josh first.
Oh yeah, they've been doing it for a while, man. They've been up to some good shit. Vito's another guy out here that's killing it.
How do you spell that one?
EVIDO.
Vito. I like that, man. That's a cool name.
Yeah.
That's fun.
He's putting another guy, Subrance.
He's not so lucky with the. You got to tell your homie Vito to step up his social media game tab.
Oh wow! What happened?
You'll see.
Sorry, Vito.
A bunch of hotel room beds or something. I don't know. Maybe that's his thing. Like you go
put Nashville.
You go check out his press kit, and it's like a lunch cafeteria.
Put Nashville under it after.
He has a lot out. I mean, he's been working hard.
Yeah.
So, like,
I'm kidding, man. I'm sure.
Make him cry.
Okay. We got to be careful when we do this. Not really.
We don't have to be careful.
We got no restrictions here,
Put
but
nipples.
It's still funny.
Hey, what happened? My Serato popped up. That was weird.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
it's all Rihanna, dude. It's all Rihanna.
Okay, fine. I'm gonna do this.
I don't know. Tell your homie Vito. We love him. We tried to find him, but it's nothing but like surveillance systems.
You know what? I got this.
And stuff, dude. Maybe this is him. Evito and Lithium original and detox mixes.
Yeah, that looks like him.
That's a DJ, music producer.
I got this. Here it is. Sorry, I got to figure out I sent you the link.
I mean, it's better than Fat Rabbit.
There. You guys know Fat Rabbit?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I know that guy. Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte, baby. I want to go back out there. I haven't been out there. I played with Ardalan out there like 4 or 5 months ago. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was the night before that Brooklyn craziness. 8-hour set. Oof.
I was just in Charlotte.
Oh, you were in New York? What'd you say? You had we were talking before. You said 8 hours of was it Nixon, you said?
Dixon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like a warehouse. It was like 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. And like I'm kind of like I like Jack and House and like more upbeat, and it's like down tempo, so it was like kind of like a hazing for me for 8 hours. I'm just like,
I only know like some of his production. I never played a set, you know, but
yeah.
I'm just guessing they got into work for 8 hours. You know, DJ life stuff these days. They put you to work, bro. You're gonna come all the way from UK to here or here to there.
Dude, sometimes I can't get DJs off the deck, so play for 10 hours.
You gotta put in 8 hours of work to get that paid for, dog.
Dude, it was like probably 2,500 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They're called Black Market in New York. I don't know if you heard of them. They're like a membership thing.
Oh, right. Yeah, those things. There seems to be more of them, or I've just heard about more of them. The membership style things.
What were you saying about Charlotte? What'd you do out there, Kelly?
Kelly's.
I was just there 2 weeks ago for a Square Pegs party. It was Lady Wax, Martin Horger, and myself played with the Square Pegs guys, and we did the Wes Smith Variety ShYo.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I was supposed to be there once. I couldn't make it because I had to take a job that was paying too well. I hate it. Sometimes I had to turn down gigs for bullshit work, but
for the real life.
Yeah, this real struggle. White people problems. I'm not white.
The default world, as Burning Man people would call it. That's always been funny to me. The default world. It's kind of like the first time someone said that to me. Actually, the first time I ever heard it was from Simon Shackleton. Ironically, because this is a few years back, and we just happened to be talking on like an IM or email or something about Burning Man, and he used that term, and I had to ask what it meant. And apparently, you know, like I guess it's supposed to be obvious, but I had never been to Burning Man before, so I just never had really had a conversation. Anyway, I thought to myself, default world, like it almost makes like whatever it is you're not doing at Burning Man sound like a bad thing. Like kind of like that's just the default, right? Like, that's where you get dropped off when the stork brings you in and stuff.
Oh damn! Did you make it this year?
No.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you said no.
Big time. I'm still trying to. I couldn't quite hear you because there's still dust in my ears.
Man. Quit rubbing it in.
He's been there for a long time. They have these new ear things, Wes, that you can use, and you can get all that out.
An ear?
I don't really.
I'll send you.
I don't really. You know how I take care of most of my dirt problems these days? I have a pool where I live, and then I have an ocean as well where I live. So I just like go jump in for 5 minutes, and that typically gets in all the places where you might have undesirable.
Mm-hmm.
Default world undesirables.
There we go.
Fuck your pool.
What are you drinking, Josh? This is every now and then we take an opportunity to advertise some sort of favorite product that we might like. And I usually have some kombucha in my hand. I like these guys.
Drinking America.
Mark.
No, my uncle came and brought a couple bottles of wine this weekend. I don't even know what it is. It's like some Spanish wine.
Mm-hmm.
I just opened it.
Spanish wine is great, man.
Yeah, I mean.
Speaking of which, speaking of Spain, not of which, but let's do Wes. I'm Googling some stuff. I forgot to tell everybody and make a point of it. My head's been really scrambled since I've been back like 2 weeks now. I did a track that Roscoe from Spain remixed, and that's a pure breakbeat track right there. That came out this week or last week, and it's still rolling around. Yeah, I was gonna find the artwork real quick and show the peoples. I called it what the hell did I call it? Carnavalia, because these guys had me come and play there in in Spain, and dude, I can't get that to come up either. I don't know why. I have to go to Beatport, I guess.
What are you looking for?
The latest release. It'll come up on Beatport. There it is. Here, I'll share my screen. I got it. Share.
Mm-hmm.
Share. Yeah, right there. That's it right there. That's the artwork for it. Yeah, that's straight up breakbeat, which I haven't really released like a straight up breakbeat EP. They've been kind of, you know, a little bit of both, or two mixes, like very, you know, versions.
Yeah.
One more house on the floor, and then one kind of breakbeat. But for a pure breakbeat, like every track on it, this one definitely is.
Nice. Who did the
Yeah,
art?
so the artwork for that one, which is partly why I wanted to bring it up, was the artwork for there's two different ones, number 1 and 2, so they're slightly different. And this guy Kale MC from here in San Diego, he's a local artist, and you know he paints this stuff like by hand, and then you know sometimes he'll combine that with digital imagery and stuff. So he did that.
Cool.
Yeah, and he's come out to some of our Juice Day Out parties and done. And it seems to be a thing here. Do you guys do that in Tennessee? Is that like a thing there?
Juice Day Out?
No, like that's our party, but like to have people come and paint live. Like,
oh yeah, that's a thing. We had that last weekend. Yeah, it's a fun thing, and sometimes the artists get to make money, and it adds to the. I love it actually.
Yeah, I think it's really fun, man. I saw it being done, you know, and then since we were doing the day party, it was really nice because the artist doesn't, you know, the artist can like hang out kind of in the sunshine with a little, you know, shade or something and paint, and people can really chill out with them and talk to them and see what's going on. And I think, you know, it's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So he did that, and then he did that at one of our parties. So when I saw him do that, then I asked him if he would, you know, do a cover and that kind of thing. So that was really cool.
So San Diego is going on like pretty dope down there.
Yeah, I mean we've got a good music scene here, man. It's probably, I mean, from the way you describe Natural, I would say we probably have a bit more variety, you know, going on, and maybe a little longer history of it.
Yeah.
Probably, you know, from what you're saying. There's a nice little section of drum and bass. You know, these guys, SD Union and United by Bass, they're kind of the same group of people, but they separate the like whatever type of party they're doing.
Yeah.
They do a couple things, but United by Bass is like the umbrella, you know, and they do drum and bass shows and bass house shows and
nice
some house and multi-genre shows. So they're homies, and they do a lot of cool stuff. So they're kind of, I would say, like those guys are kind of like the mid-tier, like couple different genre type promoters and different, you know, a few different venues. And then you got some bigger ones like LED Presents, and they do like the more like the, you know, 1,000 or, you know, 400 or 500 to co-promote some of the clubs that pull like maybe 800 people, like that range. Like that would be a larger club here.
Is that like EDM stuff? Like.
Yeah. They'll do like all the bass touring, you know, Bro Safaris coming up, stuff like that.
Cool.
And then we've got a couple of clubs that size, and then the LED Presents, they also do like way bigger like raves at there's a place here called the Valley View Casino Arena, and and it's like a basketball, you know, stadium kind of size, and a lot of concerts happen there, but I think a place fits about 10,000 or something, like at the seat, but the you know, the floors where they would do the like raves. So I don't know how many people it fit in there, but I'm sure it's definitely thousands. So that's like LED Presents is like all over that part of it, and that's a really, really young crowd right there.
Interesting.
Like 18 up. I think even sometimes all ages stuff.
I like going out there, man. My buddy lives right by the gas lamp district sign, like at a condo, like right on the corners. I love going to stay with him.
Yeah, so Gaslamp, you know, that's the area where those bigger clubs are, and then there's a good, like I said, there's a good mid-tier, you know, like promotion circuit. Contact, Native Alien does a thing called Contact, and then Native Alien does a lot of the local shows too. Those are like all your those are like your mid-size, you know, there's a really good house night, dance classic. Those guys play around, Joe P and his crew, Solil, you know, so there's a good like soulful house, you know, then more of the bassy bass house, you know, and then a little bit of breaks here and there, but mostly mixed in with those other things. And it's been a big influence on me, certainly over the last few years. You know, it's nice getting exposed to like all that variety of music. You know.
Yeah.
So,
where are you from?
You know, I'm from. Well, I was born in Florida, and then you know, that's the Wayback Machine. And then I really got into music when I lived in Washington D.C.
Okay. Yeah, they're booming in Washington.
Yep.
Yeah. So when I broke my rave cherry in Washington D.C. Like I didn't have anything to do with music in any way, shape, or form when I lived in Florida. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, you
And then New York. Then I was in New York for a while.
I'm on the Wes Smith tour. I just go to all the places he used to live. cruises behind, stuff like that.
Well,
but
San Diego's like the best, so.
Next stop, California.
I mean, dude, you know, I feel I'm super stoked that we have like what I would call, at least of all the places I've been in the U.S., I would say scene is without a doubt in the top 20, probably top 10. But, you know, depending on how you look at it, crowds or variety or whatever. But the reason I'm just stoked we have that is because the real reason I'm here is like the weather and the surf and the beaches and kind of that lifestyle and a little bit more laid back, you know. So that's really why I like being here. And then to have all that music on top of it is like I can do without Manhattan's music scene or whatever, because I lived there too and it was awesome. But I can do without that, you know, for the weather.
Yeah. I heard it's one of the most price per square foot places in the world. San Diego.
La Jolla is, and that might be what you heard if you heard it while you were here.
Yeah, that was my buddy Jake, and he's from there. But
yeah, I think you know, you can rent like everywhere. There's like condos and then there's homes. But if you go into the proper like zip code for La Jolla and you just look that up, I think you're right. I think it's, I mean, I've heard that it's the highest price per square foot per capita, like for the size of the number of people there in the U.S. Right? So you could come, you know, the stats folks can twist a metric to suit whatever.
Chime in. No, I'm just joking. The stats folks.
The stats folks, dude. They can make everything magic, dude.
I failed that class.
So did I. So I try to stay away from it. I just know, I'm pretty sure the earth is round and I'm just sticking with that plan.
Yeah.
You just Google everything. It's fine.
You can. So, hey man, I think you might have mentioned already, but did you say you had an LTJ Bookham thing coming up? I know that was one of the things.
Yeah.
How'd that come?
I just sent a flyer actually right before that we got to talking over for approval. So I'm hoping it gets approved and I can blast it tomorrow and get ticket sales up. But you know, I'm just trying to keep up. So I'm like behind on everything.
Yeah,
at least that's a way to play December.
What are the venues that you know that most of your parties at?
That one's Mercy Lounge, and like it's taken me forever to get into these venues. Like this venue is like probably one of my favorite. We just had Farina played. I guess it's been a while now. It's July 7th. We had about 350 come out, which is pretty good for Nashville. It's what we had last time he came 2 years before, but it was a great venue. You know, great staff, but you know they stay booked up with rock like they have since they started. You know, 20, 30 years, and every EDM show they've had almost hasn't quite produced the same that a good rock show does. So it's kind of like been hard to get in to these venues. But I've got some good relationships going with them. The 5 spot. So I'm trying to do one a month at each if they'll let me, which so far they're kind of letting me. It's kind of every other, but now it's becoming every month. And if I can find 2 or 3 spots to do a monthly, I can. Because sometimes there's just nothing to do, man. On the weekends, I'm just like, damn.
Well, I was going to ask, I was having a discussion with some guys last night about, you know, promoting and all that kind of stuff and like event producing and, you know, like what do you think is like a good frequency to do events? Like how often do y'all do them? 2 weeks? What month? Every other month?
Well, right now it just varies. Usually I've got a monthly The Happening and then a house headliner or house-ish once a month. Then try to do bass music like once every 2 or 3 months. So, I mean, it's just infrequent. But I think there's a demand probably, I mean, almost every night, really.
Wow.
I don't say.
But what about for you? What about for you as a promoter? Like, what do you think for your own like party brand? You know, how much is too much or too little? Like, what do you think is a good balance?
I don't know if there is too much unless you're just like exhausting, you know, a genre or something. That I don't know. I don't see Nashville. I would like to see someone do too much. I don't. I can't do enough. I couldn't imagine doing too much. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to get organized. I have a desk space at a place and just like trying to push out more because I get phone calls, texts all the time when nothing's going on. People in town, like, what's going? I'm just like, nothing tonight. Zero. There's nothing for you to do. Like,
I'm sorry, but there's
like dance music, question mark. Sorry, I'm not working tonight. Like, sometimes there's really nothing to do.
Wow.
So I think there's a big demand. Just trying to get out there. I wouldn't want to wash anything, you know, like overdo anything. But like, I mean, there at least needs to be something on Friday and Saturday night, all the time.
What do you so you mentioned a few different genres, and I'm curious, what do you consider like what's a bass music night to you as a Tennessee?
Like E-Prom or something like that, or you know, I'd even consider Desert Dwellers bass music, and we just had them a couple months ago. That's more like Govinda played. Sponsorship tokens. Govinda played the other night. I would consider that bass music. Just, you know, less of the 4 on the floor, anything below like 120, you know.
Okay.
Even Pretty Lights, 110 or some of his stuff's even Moombahton, like 110, 112 bass music, pretty much. I would just group it in.
So where do you lump like bass house? Like where does that critter fit in?
That's what I try to do. Like I would the stuff I book, like you, Dirty Bird, Icy, Baby Ann. We got Derek Carter coming, Josh Wink. Just like any good music, doesn't really have to be. I just have a bad habit of calling it house because that's what I kind of like. Some of it all has to come to a home, which I think is house, but it's not all house music at all.
Right.
House, and it's kind of, I need to get. It's better than saying every genre every time I want to say, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with. I mean, I get you there though. I mean, I quite often call something house, and what I really mean to say is like, you know, 4 on the floor.
Yeah.
Because because I have some, you know, good friends that are like house, let's say house purists, you know, and so I don't like to kind of incorrectly put something on whatever it is that they're doing.
There's not too many of them, but yeah, there are some.
There's some, dude.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, they would be like, that's not house. Like,
and you know exactly what I'm saying when I say that, dude. You know, like they'll be like, nah, that's like there's, you know, there's purists and everything, but it's a little harder, to blur the line. For example, if you're a drum and bass purist, it's not like you could mistakenly be talking about, you know, glitch hop and call it drum and bass. Like, it's not going to happen.
No,
you know,
that's funny. Drum and bass, you cannot even get close to group.
It's hard to, you can't really make a mistake unless you haven't been out in 15 years, and you might call it, you know, UK hardcore or something.
Jump up.
Or, you know, jump up. But that's even like subgenres, right? You could call it jungle.
There has been some, jungle. There has been some tracks that I was like putting in a crate for a while that was like between 125 and 132 that had some weird bass line that sounded kind of drum and bassy. It wasn't like two-step. And it's been hard drives ago. I want to say like Monkey Ranch. Have you heard of that? Like,
was it Speed Garage-ish?
It wasn't garagey. I have to find it. I'll send you a link. I'll look for it later. It'll take me a while. You'll see what I'm talking about. But that's the only time I've ever seen anything that I thought that I could maybe play as drum and bass. But it doesn't make sense right now, obviously. I'll send it.
Hey, so speaking of which, Josh, what is this future? What is the future of music?
The future?
The future.
I want to know, and everybody I'm sure wants to know, from Nashville, Tennessee, what is the future of dance music?
Artificial intelligence.
Pew, pew, pew.
I don't get it, man. How's that going to play in? What do you mean?
Robots.
And what are they? What are they?
Oh, before that happens,
I'll throw out a few. So I'll throw out a future topic. You tell me. You tell me what you think of it. So I would say, what do you think about completely, like, you see some of this going on. It hasn't really caught on huge, but like the virtual reality, like DJ. So like you're like basically playing in a, you know, with a virtual headset on or whatever, and then there's people around the world doing that. You think that's gonna be the next big thing?
I would hope not. Like, but you know, I'm sad for them. Sometimes I'm surprised by like young people and what they will do for entertainment.
You can run around and buy virtual pills.
Maybe we could stop that before it happens. Now that you bring it up, but no, that would be a way for the artists to make a lot of money. But it just seems like it would lose a lot of the point of, you know, connecting with people. But maybe not. Maybe virtual reality is so good you can like feel the body warmth. Who knows?
Yeah, right. I mean, I've seen some pretty interesting stuff. I was looking at a virtual, they call it mixed reality, I guess. And so, you know, I guess, you know, like Pokemon, that whole thing was kind of an augmented reality thing, I think, where like, right, like you would go out with your phone and locate your shit somewhere, GPS, and then if you look through your phone, you'd see like character or whatever, like in the grass, whatever, that kind of thing, right? And so I guess that's augmented reality, right? Where some virtual thing is being stuck in. And Apple's like, as well as all the other, you know, vendors, but, you know, whatever, Samsung, Android operating system, whatever, they're all gonna, you know, try to really have this next generation of phones like hyper capable of doing that. Like they can already do it, some of it, but they're gonna really try to make that, you know, like a thing, right?
Yeah.
So like that starts to encroach on it. But I saw this helmet the other day, and someone was doing a walkthrough of like a building. I was looking at some building spaces, and they were doing this experiment where they were basically redoing the interior of this space, and so the designers had mocked it all up in 3D, and if you put this helmet on, we were like standing in the warehouse space, but you put the helmet on and it was like you're inside the space the way that they planned to design it.
Oh wow.
And I tell you what, dude, it was pretty trippy, man. Like whoever had the helmet on, like they could reach out to do something, and they literally, like, you almost felt like you were actually going to touch that, like the bar counter where the bar is going to go.
Yeah.
You know, but of course you put your hand there and it just would go through, you know, so it's pretty trippy, man. I mean, I got to tell you, it was damn sure realistic.
I wish I could afford one of those machines.
Yeah, so I don't know how affordable it is, and I don't know if that's the same level of experience that, you know, the party DJs I've seen kind of, you know, I know the photos online look just weird as hell, right? Like you see somebody with their headset and they're like DJ, they got a booth and everything, and there's no people.
Wow. That would be kind of, I don't know.
I mean, is it really any different than going Facebook Live? You know, I mean, you don't really have an audience.
That's true, unless you do it.
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point. Like,
yeah, I think people are already doing it. It's just in a different way. But I mean, having it virtual reality, I'm gonna do a seminar on that in a couple of weeks. I'll report back.
On
yeah,
what?
so
Virtual reality?
Yeah, virtual reality. It's Audio Engineering Society is doing a like a convention and a whole bunch of seminars and stuff, and I'm gonna go to that, and I think it's in October.
Oh, cool. Well, good. Bring your info. And you can help give the real 411 to everybody. But check it out. So like here's an example, right? Like you can see my screen. I'm sharing it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you see this chick, like she's
Yeah.
totally, there's nobody there, bro. Like what I'm telling you is there's no one there. It's
Dang.
like, right. It's all just like it's like an empty club, and you know, and there's a homie with the hat on. You know, he's jazzed it up with some
creepy. I'm sorry. I don't ever want to do that. That is scary.
So
That's
so
like
here's what I'm.
everyone by themselves.
Can you imagine the ego?
Yeah, right? So
Like, in the VR world, man.
Here's your Facebook Live, homie.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Everyone got the K.
Okay, so Josh, it's a no for Josh. And so my point is, Josh, is like, if we're talking about future dance music, I think you might you might be heading for dinosaur land because, you know, because here we are talking about what's next, and I'm pretty sure this is it.
Are you sure?
Huge.
I think people will still want to go to dance parties, at least for the next couple hundred years. But maybe sometimes, like, instead, like at the gym, and you're, you know, like you got that thing on, and you're like on the treadmill at the club.
Right. So what happens is they create these, like, you know, peer-to-peer networks or whatever, and you're the guy in your booth, and you're you know, if you have 1,000 people worldwide that come to your show, then they all have their gear, you know, their virtual, you know, headgear, whatever. And then, you know, you're basically looking at all of them, even though they're not there, but they're all in your space, right?
Yeah.
There used to be this thing. I don't know. Do either of y'all remember? I don't know how long ago it was. Couldn't have been too long because it's internet based. But I think it was called turntable TV. Do y'all remember that?
I had a buddy tell me about it kind of recently, but no, I don't remember it.
I never did anything with it, but I think it was called turntable.tv. Like, well, that domain's gone now, whatever it was, if that was it, I can't remember. But my point was that it was this concept of you would you know, get an account, whatever, online, and then there basically would be like people broadcasting, like Kelly, like you were saying, basically like, you know, NSB radio or whatever, right? And you know, like chat rooms that go along with people mixing live, like we're all familiar with that, right? So it was that kind of thing, but on screen, rather than you having a helmet, like on screen, you basically created a room or went into another party room, and you could play, and they had it all. It was more like a game, like you could work it out with points, but you could bring your own music in crates, you know, and you know, and store music. And so over time, if you built up your following and you basically became, you know, this you know, this DJ that would travel around to effectively these rooms, which were like the nightclubs within turntable TV, and then your following could come with you to another room, and it's pretty dope. Like, it was a pretty neat thing, and I think it kind of disappeared because they couldn't figure out a way to make money with it. But
that sounds pretty cool, though, especially if you're stuck at home.
Well, so that's a really, you know, interesting thing, right? Like, think about it. Like you were saying, like, you know, you've been kind of there for the evolution of some of what's going on in Nashville, right? And there's places, I mean, think about it, especially if you're younger. That's a whole, like, that's why I'm thinking, like, especially like the business-minded folks, you know, like let's say the Insomniacs or the Clear Channels of the world or whatever the huge promoter owners are. And like, you know, they're all trying to figure out, like, how are they going to, you know, double the size of whatever they're paying user, you know, customer bases. Right?
That's probably it. You're right, for especially kids. Like, if you're 16, you can actually go to a nightclub with, like, you know, a computer program.
Yeah, I mean, you could be 12. Like, think about it. Like, it might be strange, although maybe not, because, you know, the person would just have an avatar. So I'll take an example. It's one of the things where when I did that video game soundtrack last year, or the year before, and then it came out last year, I kind of started thinking about more of these methods, not really to go do them, you know, but I just started, I guess, picturing a little bit more of the reality of how they might work and where they might fit. And so a great example would have been like, and it's one of the reasons we always had the joke about keeping the show PG-13, because at the time when the game came out, you know, like I had just told the game maker, you know, we were just trying to be PC because we knew we had kids, because their market was like, you know, 10 to 15 years old, right? So we knew at the time when the game was, you know, kind of at its peak and doing its thing last year, you know, on PlayStation and all that, like, you know, there was definitely like fans like rolling around, right? So we just knew they were younger, right? So we were just, part of it was a joke, but part of it we were just trying to respect that audience. But that's a good example, because that would have been an opportunity where if they were super engaged, you know, and maybe your thing is video game music that's club music, right? And you know, your fan base definitely can't afford to go to a show or even is old enough, right?
Yeah.
But they could definitely do that in-app purchase, you know, and their parents could check off that 18 and up or 18 below or whatever content box and pay $10 to, you know, like, think about it. You could have a 1 million person show that's a virtual room, right?
Man, maybe we need to make this private and, like, get some funders and start this shit up right now.
Well, you know, you asked, you know, you threw it out there like, let's talk a little bit about the future.
No, I do want. We need to. I mean, damn, it's coming. Might as well plan.
You could sell it to prison.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So have either of you ever seen this or been to one of those shows or actually seen it worked in or like additional broadcast to whatever's going on at your real venue?
No, I've often thought about if what you're saying is broadcasting live of something else or broadcasting your shit somewhere.
Well, either way, I suppose you could just, I mean, there's no reason why the virtual DJ couldn't have a helmet on and be seeing the live club, like the Party Basics party that is at in Nashville, but still broadcast it to another channel, which is a virtual, you know, VR type room, right? Why not do both?
True. I mean, that could be cool.
I mean, Daft Punk wears helmets, dude. I'm surprised someone like them hasn't.
Sorry.
Oh.
Connection.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't think about it, dude. Like, if anybody, like, why wouldn't they play? They got helmets on already, dude. It's not like anybody knows what or if they're looking at anything or if they're even human. So it's like, just why not just broadcast like whatever?
Oh, you're talking about Daft Punk only. Oh,
yeah, just Daft Punk. Yeah.
There is a lot of helmet guys now, huh? The Marshmallow.
Where do you think that? Well, all right. So if we were 10 years ago, I like this future topic, man. Sorry if I'm bugging out.
Future helmet. Go.
It was Josh's idea, and I'm bugging on it. So let's say it was 10 years ago, Josh, and where would you say was the origin of the helmet?
10 years ago, I would think more, maybe like an actual Big Bird, but he's a DJ.
Who do you think started this god awful helmet trend?
Yeah.
Damn it, Big Bird.
Oh God, who did start the helmet trend?
I just Googled first helmet in EDM.
Guitar player, Buckethead.
It's got to be Daft Punk.
So obviously one of the articles that comes up is, you know, Daft Punk before the helmets. So that's like always pre-helmet and post-helmet Daft Punk. Marshmallow comes up. Deadmau5 comes up. Deadmau5 is early in there.
Deadmau5, yeah.
He's been doing that for a while, but that's only like 2003 or something.
But he might be. I'm not sure if he was before Daft Punk doing it, but you know, donned the helmet. But I think he might definitely be in terms of one of the super early ones where it wasn't like a whole uniform, because like he just wears a fucking black T-shirt and then he's got this crazy helmet on.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's like some shit. You're sitting at home thinking, all right, so I'm gonna wear a helmet, but I'm not really gonna wear a costume. Right?
That could work.
Or maybe he made the first helmet, and by the time he got the helmet done, he's like, "Fuck this! I'm not building an outfit."
Have you ever wore a helmet or a mask when you DJ? Anybody?
You wear a Santa hat.
I never have.
Yeah, you wear a Santa hat.
I've worn a Santa hat. I've worn an elf hat.
Yeah. Or elf hat. Sorry.
I've worn hats, and even that's kind of weird, dude. I think at the end of this year, I'm gonna ditch the hats for good because I just can't. It's like I always think the pictures look weird. You know, so two things happen. Like I'm sure this is like, you know, I'm going down the rabbit hole now, but so two things happen for all people who wonder about hats. Like number one, like I don't have a lot of hair. Clearly, you can see, and I don't wear the hat because I don't have hair. Like I really don't care. I shave my head. And so this is a thing for people that don't like are either bald or don't, you know, shave their head. The reason a lot of us wear hats, well, style might be one thing, but then the other is because if you shave your head or have no hair, like it's purely bald, like waxed bald,
yeah.
like Dana White bald, you know, like you can't feel anything. If you're gonna bump your head, you don't feel anything until you've already bumped your head, and it usually cuts you. Yeah. So those tiny little hairs, you know, even if they're super short, but like a buzz cut or military or something, it's just enough to where like your head knows that it's about to hit something, and then you stop. And so that's one of the reasons why hats are awesome, because then you feel it first.
So that's why they're wearing masks, is what you're saying, Deadmau5?
And what I'm getting at is I think that's why they wear masks.
You're probably right. That's your next move too? No, I'm just joking.
No. So the problem if you're a DJ,
Yeah.
the problem with hats, because see, I wear hats anyway, and keep the sun off my head during the day, cruising on my beach cruise or whatever, right? And so the problem with the hats is like, and this is the part that is funny because I don't do it, but you can't wear headphones over a hat. I just think that looks silly as shit.
Yeah.
So
behind or
what's that?
What do you wear them behind, or what do you do?
Well, so then I end up wearing them, you know, like where the you know, what would be over the top. I just wear them behind my head, but then I've always got my shoulder cocked because got to hold the cup up to your ear, right?
Yeah.
And I could never get used to that super old school house one cup thing with the stand, you know?
Terrence Parker, he does like that telephone thing. That's fun.
They do that here at the house parties. I'm like, what the hell is that? It's like, what thing? Yeah.
Wait, we got to find one of those for anybody that's like, what are they talking
They
about?
all use it too, and it's got duct tape all around it. I'm like, they're playing parties. Like,
for anybody that thinks us fools are crazy, look at this. It's like, look at all these one-sided, like, there's ones where people hold it up like a telephone. You'd be like, what up?
I mean, that would be way easier.
There's ones that have like a stand, like a little stand, like it's almost like a rest, right? Like the telephone operator. I think that's what
knock that over every single time. Like, bam.
Yeah, I think everybody we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna start a new trend. It's like a headphone stand or something.
You know, I feel like when I travel, I feel like headphones are the bane of my existence. They take up half of my bag most of the time. Like, I'll have like a pair of shoes and like a pair of underwear and my headphones, and that's it. Just kidding. I'll put like a t-shirt in there. But oh, that's a cool stand.
Yeah, that's a dope stand. This is what I'm talking about right here. Y'all ever seen one of these?
It would be really nice if you could put one of those in there, or just earbuds. Like, why can't you just use earbuds?
Check that out though. It's like a shoulder rest. This thing goes over your shoulder, and then you like just tilt your head just a little bit.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that.
Phone.
Huh?
That shoulder. That's awesome.
Yes. You ever seen that before, Josh?
No.
What if one was like a necklace that kind of like comes up to a headphone on the side?
I like it, man. Well, I used to have one of these, but they're really, really hard to find now and order. Like, but it used to be all the rage, dude. House DJs, like every house DJ on the planet, that's what they used.
Really?
I'm not kidding, dude. It was like the thing. I don't know why. Like, and then somehow, I guess Stanton or somebody was like, let's put 2 headphone cups and make them big for DJs, and then that took off. So, yeah, that was like the jam. But anyway, so since those aren't readily available and you can't get really good high fidelity, you know, without taking apart your headphones, yeah, that's a problem right there. So anyway, I guess all that roundabout was that, you know, I think the end of this year I'm just going to quit wearing hats and and then just have my headphones over the top of my head. I'm going Zach Moore style. You know Zach Moore?
From Saved by the Bell?
Yes. Precisely.
Yes. And I know AC Slater.
Yes. And Kelly Kapowski.
Zach Moore Armory Podcast. That guy.
No, I'll check him out.
I'm going to show you right now real quick, dude.
Okay, cool.
And the reason I thought about him is because he rocks it, dude. He's like the, I don't know, the Andre Agassi of fucking headsets. Look at him. Killing it right there, dude. He's got it worked out.
Agassi.
If you don't know, do you know the Armory Podcast, Josh? You familiar with it?
I am not.
Oh, dude, check it out, man. You're going to find some people that you probably want to roll through Nashville, man. Some talent. Sweet. Yeah, let me give him a little shout out. You know, the little history real quick. So Zach Moore, he was this is all San Francisco based, and so Zach, you know, he was part of Space Cowboys for a long time, which is a really big Burning Man camp that was, historically speaking, I mean, I've heard various stories, but the general consensus seems to be that they were one of the first art cars with a big sound system out at Burning Man. And so they would drive way out to this trash fence and bring their art car out there. And then as other art cars started to kind of put sound on their cars, they would kind of have a block party where, you know, one art car would pull up and then they would pipe that soundboard into 2 or 3 other art car sound and shit like that. So that all stopped happening, you know, before I ever made it to Burning Man. So I can only tell you kind of the stories I heard, but that's the general sort of history of it. Anyway, so Zach was longtime part of Space Cowboys, and then he started this podcast, which he runs through SoundCloud, iTunes, and all that, called the Armory Podcast. And a lot of breakbeat stuff, you know, that's how I ended up meeting him, you know, 3-4 years ago through that. But it's got pretty good variation. Kelly's had episodes on there. I've got 3 on there. Nice. Cool stuff, man. You might enjoy some of the artists on there.
Yeah, I see Mafia Kiss. I like Mafia Kiss a lot. Who else? It's hard to see. But yeah, I'll check it out, man. Thanks. Always looking for.
That's a good one. What's have you got a kind of channel that you like to listen to, you know, to find music mixes?
Besides chasing Beatport, I say because I got a day job and DJ a lot. I work all the time. I mean, I listen to Rinse FM kind of a lot just because it's live, but I don't really have it. I hump down for music on Beatport and shit and different various, you know, I look at people's sets.
Right.
I cheat. I should say.
Well, the Armory Podcast is a good one for it.
Okay, so hold it. So we got DJs, all DJs on the call, right? So, so if we're talking future, let's talk like, you know, like the term. Everybody knows what the term train spotting is. You all know.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
You know that term. So aside from the movie, Josh, like train spotting was generally.
It's when somebody comes over and looks over your shoulder while you're playing, and they go.
They go, hold on, I wasn't looking at you. They go, what? I was looking up train spotting.
You'll probably find the movie, but.
Oh yeah, 2 just came out.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So.
No, this
that movie.
Back in the title of your track that you're playing.
Yeah. So that movie, I think there was one like 20 years ago or something. So this gives you an idea of how long ago that term came about. So that's a UK kind of based like concept and rave, you know, based film, a lot of drugs, all that shit. But, you know, just kind of more of a play on the times, you know, back then. And I think the name clearly came from the fact that the word train spotting was wildly popular way back then, because here's a funny, someone did an illustration. This is pretty funny. It's like a meme. Let me bring this one up. This is pretty funny. Yeah, check that out. So that's the movie, but here's somebody did a little funny illustration, like someone with binoculars, all train spotting homies, like what he's playing. That's awesome, dude. So you get the idea. So like when Shazam, you know, the app, like that kind of, you know, whatever sound recognition shit came out, that kind of put the end to that whole thing. But
kind of,
yeah. So if it was 20 years ago and you were talking, you'd be talking, you know, maybe something like Shazam would be in the future, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I do that when I'm going through mixes. Sometimes I just sit there and Shazam things.
So do you just look at people's track list, like the text that they post, or you should sit there with Shazam on autoplay, or what?
Me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't. A lot of times, like the stuff I really want is unreleased, so I don't Shazam that often. I started on Beatport a long time ago, following all the artists I like a lot,
right?
And they give me their releases, like, so I can go based on the artists, all the releases of the people I follow, and I can hardly even keep up with those. Like when I get time to look for music.
Yeah, me too.
So
hey, Josh.
Yeah, I'm with
the $100 million question. Do you follow me on Beatport?
Of course.
I'm just messing with you.
You give me some tracks. I appreciate that.
You don't want to make me cry.
Oh.
Hey, dude. You know what?
This way too.
For years, I've probably been one of the worst people on the planet with like consistently, giving promos to people, and it was just always a lot to keep up with. And I know there's lots of ways to do it, but I think like what you're saying, like partly because I would get stuff and I couldn't manage it coming in, and I just thought, well, shit, you know, it's more stuff. So anyway, but I'm cleaning that up, dude, and I'll put you on that list so that you consistently get stuff.
Yes.
Oh, can I be on that list?
Yeah, you can, and I also have. This is live. I mean, it's like live, like you could go hit it, but it's not complete as in really like ready yet. But I have a new site that I'm gonna do for like my edits and stuff. Can you see that right there?
Oh shit! Free downloads.
Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna put all. It's actually live now. Like there is some stuff there now, but it's not unreleased. It's like back catalog.
Go home.
What's the website called?
This one is that hashtag Yo Big or Yo Home. That's what I named it for now.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah, so that's where I'm gonna put all the free stuff that I'm gonna aggregate, like all the free jams that I've given away over the years, and I'm also gonna aggregate.
Go back one.
I'm also gonna aggregate most of the music that I've done that was released commercially, so that, you know, what I found, Josh, and I mean, it's maybe a question for you, and I've asked Kelly before, but like what I've found is like I have a fairly diverse catalog, and I don't expect, just like I don't buy everything of Dirty Bird or some label I like, you know, like you just miss stuff. You're busy working, you're on vacation, whatever, so you miss things, right? And so I've found as I traveled around that I'll play something, and people will be like, dude, what's that? And I'll be like, bro, that came out 3 years ago. And they're like, you know, and I'll realize that they, you know, like it's just a lot to keep up with, like you said, right? So
yeah.
So what I did was I just thought I'd come up with a way to put a lot of my back catalog. It's all on Beatport, but it's not like you're going to sift through that, right? So basically I was going to aggregate all this stuff so that I could just send people to one spot and be like, dude, just go download it all and, you know, put it on playlist for a day and grab some stuff you like. I hope you like some stuff, you know?
Yes, dude. So you're in the process of that, or you got some? You said you got some.
It's live. Well, it's live there now. Like all the mashups that I've released is the only thing that's there right now. But yeah, it's live.
Dope.
But I'll put you on the other promo list too, which is different than that. That's like mostly that like pure like edits or free stuff out, you know, that's been out. And then I'm working on I got to get some clearance for some of the other stuff I've done, because a lot of work that's on other labels, I can't just go give that away, you know, like.
No.
So I'm working on that kind of stuff. But my goal with like that kind of thing is to have all the, like every song I've ever done basically be there for free. That's basically my goal.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that's over 500.
That's a lot of songs.
You're probably,
yeah.
Wes Smith machine.
What's that?
What are you writing these days? What are you up to? You producing?
In what way? Musically?
You've been writing anything lately, like in the past couple days, or you've been?
You're like, I love it. I'm like, you mean this year, last week, last month?
No, like now. What are you working on? What song?
I can play something for you that I'm almost finished with it. I'm pretty happy. This is more of a house tune. I like I don't know if you ever really were into like filter house and disco house and stuff like that.
Definitely. I like Derek Carter a lot. He's coming in February.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
He does some disco. Good disco.
Let me find one I like.
I have
Here, listen to this one for a second. I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm back. How far did it get? Halfway?
That really just happened. Everyone just disappeared. Oh my gosh. Are we live?
Dang, you cut that quick. No, I just had to take a leak.
I have to tell you something. I have a shout out kind of for you, Josh. It's from Peasley.
Oh, my homie.
Yeah, he says, "What's up?"
What's up?
He says he loves you, fucker.
See those guys, those ninja midgets.
Say hi to his lady as well. They're both super fucking amazing. Kisses and hugs for them and the rest of you cunts. Sorry, he's been drinking.
Oh, damn.
I camped with him at Burning Man.
Oh, nice.
So we were like, 10 feet from each other at all times.
Sure, he's on his best behavior.
Awesome. So yeah, that was a piece of I call it. I want to create all kinds of new genres. That's all I want to do ever. So I'm gonna call that filter bass. Has that term ever been used yet for a genre? Can we call it filter bass?
We can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it.
I think you should.
Whatever makes you happy.
A little funky, a little bit more four on the floor, a little break in there, some heavy bass line stuff. That's kind of. Anyway, I mean, that's like. If I'm doing something different than pure breakbeat, like that's the kind of vibe I'm feeling right now. I get a lot of influence of that kind of stuff out here on the West Coast. Just like hearing honestly, Josh, like what happens is like you go to a lot of parties or hear different things and you're not DJing. And so you do that as a fan of music. And quite often I hear like pure four on the floor beats, like strictly, which is cool. But I feel like the song or the sort of the overall like style, I feel like it's a little bit like constrained, a bit like if there was just a variation in beats or percussion, I might unleash it a bit,
Yeah. And
like yeah, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't need to be, like I'm not saying, it doesn't need to be like traditional funky drum or breakbeat. I'm just saying like I just feel like when it's strictly on the grid like that, for me personally, I don't feel like it's really like organic.
Dude, I found a genre for this. I was bored on Beatport a couple weeks ago, getting ready for a party, and I was looking up genres, thinking maybe they'll get better ones or different. And I have a genre called left field house.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're talking about. I think like there's some breaks in there, and there's some different. Like I found a couple good ones. I mean, it's not all, but there's like not names for it. It's hard for them to like. It's weird.
Well, yeah, which brings up an interesting point. We won't go all the way into the breakbeat house genre thing. But what's that?
Oh, I mean the line is so thin on that, like to me.
Well, I'll tell you. You may or may not find this interesting, but for several years now, like because enough people asked me my opinion, I finally came up with a standard answer, and that is. My final opinion, which I've stuck with for 3 to 4 years now, is that you basically have four on the floor beat patterns, right? Or you have a breakbeat pattern, and that's it. Like as for genres, I couldn't care less. But when you produce music, you do have to make a choice. You're either going to have, a beat, a kick drum for every beat, or you're right, the 4 counts of a bar, or you're going to have some variation. And so it's either a breakbeat or it's not. And so it's pretty simple.
I see what you're saying, a breakbeat purist.
Well, no, it's pretty simple if you look at it from a producer standpoint.
I see what you're saying though, but some of them to me, like in the beginning of a break, like might be a little different from when the beat kicks in, like, and then maybe like the breakdown, and then it goes back to breaks, but on some.
100%, but all I'm saying is that like I'm not talking genre at all. I'm strictly talking like that's how I
breakbeat.
That's how I use the words.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is. You're right.
Yeah, I don't because dude, go on like you said, you go on Beatport and you hear both of those fundamental patterns, and sometimes you hear them both in the same song. Which I'm doing a lot of now, but you'll and part of the reason I do that, Josh, is because I know that house DJs, I know that some of them, and it probably is the same for strictly broken beat DJs as well, but I know that some of them they're not comfortable or don't really know how to mix those styles together, And so if I make a song and I give them a nice fat 4 on the floor intro for a minute, then it's really easy for them because they're familiar with mixing that way. And then they can bring that in, let the maybe the broken beat section do its thing, and then I give them an outro that's 4 on the floor, and everything's comfortable, right? So,
Yeah.
That's partly why I started doing that. And I'll be honest, for me too, it's easier to mix because if I play 3 or 4, strictly like house songs, it's a lot easier for me to have, a beer in my hand and be holding my headphone cup and like basically mix without mixing, right?
Yeah. I guess it's easier. It's kind of boring, but
it is. Well, speaking of mixing, do you what's your favorite equipment to mix on, Josh?
Sadly, my most favorite is a an SX, because I've just like played the best. But I can play on CDJs, but I just in the past year or two started playing on them more because I couldn't afford them or clubs didn't carry them. So I'm comfortable on CDJs, but I just can play I can do a lot more on a SX because I'm just played on it more.
That's a Pioneer controller?
Yeah, it's just like the same, the top of the line Pioneer controller. But I mean I play on CDJs more like more than half the time now. But I still just like the SX. I don't know. I just know how to do like some loops and like a couple of the effects really better than the 900 mixer.
Yeah.
I mean, what mixer do you use?
I think
That's what I have.
The 900?
Well, I've got. So you're gonna love this. So I have CDJ Nexus and matching mixer, so it all works together for parties that I throw. But I don't even use it myself. Like I originally bought them because back in 2014, I guess when I did some, well, going into 2015, I did some pretty heavy like quantity of shows, like way more than I'm doing right now. And I didn't own CDJs, dude. And so I like everywhere. That's what was everywhere, man. So like I finally just had to buy them because I felt like I didn't know how to use them as much as I should, and I'm sure a lot of people face that, like I had no problem mixing. That wasn't my issue, but I just felt like I couldn't prep properly, like with record box and all that, because I just wasn't real comfortable with it, and so I bought them and then really got good at that. So like at this point, I'm probably like I said, they basically just stay in the flight boxes and then they get used for parties.
I've never owned them like you. If I owned them and spent like, maybe I had like 2 weeks off, which would never happen, maybe in the winter, and just like DJ'd for 2 weeks pretty much, then I would be comfortable on them a lot. But I haven't had that much time. Like I've played on them live about 95% of the time, or if not more, than I've ever played on them.
Do you use since you're on a Pioneer SX, do you use record box to prep all your stuff, or
I use Serato DJ, but I mean I don't even have an SX. I sold it now because I play out and they have CDJs out now.
Oh, so you
around town.
You use your laptop with Serato DJ?
I use a flash drive with the CDJs.
Oh.
But I'm just saying what I prefer to play on, but I don't play on it very often anymore. I play on CDJs now, like mostly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean I think that's pretty common. You too, Kelly, right? Like pretty much USB with some whatever prep you want to do on that.
At home I have the SX2 and I do Serato, but usually I just use USBs when I play out. I think I'm going to change it to Serato though, because I don't know, I like it a lot better. Record box is not, and I don't know, I don't really like it.
I don't really like it that much either.
Are you talking about using it live, or are you talking about using it to prep your tracks?
I think, well, that's actually what you were just talking about too. I feel like I use it, and then when I go to use it live, it doesn't work in the way that I think it should, or whatever. So, and I don't have CDJs that I can practice on. So, and if it's on the fly and I'm going up and I'm mixing into somebody's song, like there's no way that I'm going to sit there and try and figure it out. So I think if I just spent some time with CDJs and was able to do it, probably figure it out. But every time I use it, it's on the fly. It's live, so I just can't. So I've tried quite a few times, and every single time it's like, so I'm like, Forget it.
We need to all rent a cabin for like a week. And
Yes, let's do that.
be like, look, we're all just gonna throw down. We each get like 3 hours a day. That'd be awesome. Yeah, that's not being able to time on them.
Yeah, that's well, those are good points. Yeah, I mean, I'll use Rekordbox DJ on my laptop when I can, but it's not. But the majority is just using Rekordbox to you know, pre-analyze the tracks, set a few cue points, and put them on a USB. Like that's pretty typical. But I really feel I really wish. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like there's a lot of flexibility there, unfortunately. I feel like because you really can't search well. There's just so many things you can't do off the USB sticks, and they're trying to make that better with touch screens and all, but they're really, to me, they're still clumsy as shit.
I hook my computer up on the weekends. My gig with the CDJs at the spot headquarters I play. Like I bring my computer because it's way easier to look at, and I just use control discs in the CDJs. Just like
you got to, especially if you're playing long sets. I assume that those
hours.
Yeah, because I used to do some of that in New York. You know, I've talked about it a couple of times on here, and yeah, if you're gonna play 4, 5, 6 hours, dude, you can't do that off a USB stick.
No, hell no, my neck would be like, no.
Yeah, and you go blind.
And I'd shoot myself.
Scrolling, you'd be like, your fingers would be so worn out from scrolling.
That could be a DJ hell. Like you're gonna go to hell and just be like stuck doing this.
Well, this may make you laugh. It may not surprise you, but it may make you laugh. So like now, like this whole year, I've basically done all my prep in Ableton. Like I don't use it to DJ like when I play, but I just do all like instead of practicing on CDJs or on turntables or whatever, which you know, like I just do everything in Ableton, and then like that's how I work out. Like it's kind of funny because at first it was a little weird because I really just used it for producing music, but then I got really deep into a lot of different pieces of Ableton that you don't really have to use for production, but you can explore like for live performance and all that. And then I just didn't like using it for live performance aspects. It just wasn't my thing. And so, but I learned all these other little pieces of it. And part of that is that you can, you know, really easily do you know, mix sets or whatever. And it's how a lot of people produce like the radio shows and podcasts and stuff anyway. But yeah, it's great for prepping for sets. Like once it's like a habit, it's so easy, and especially if you're on an airplane or anything like that. And it's so fast to like flush out like mixes that work well and don't work well. I mean, it's basically the same exact thing you'd be doing on CDJs, right? Like playing all these different songs and seeing what sounds good together and what doesn't, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Same workflow, it's just different tools, but you know.
I use an app, Cross-Free DJ, when I go on planes, and I just sit there and work out tunes sometimes.
What's it called?
Cross-Free DJ. It's free app. It's just kind of like, I think maybe like Rekordbox, but
okay.
Throw a couple tunes in there and see if they work together or not, or if you don't know what the BPM is.
Oh,
well, the reason I like doing it in Ableton is because if I run into something where it's like, oh, I love that mix, but like the song, let's say it's too long or the intro's shitty, then I can just edit it right there, you know, and add myself.
Oh, yeah, true.
I can just add myself another 16 or 32 bars right away and make sure I like the way it mixes, and then I can bounce that out and I'm good to go. So,
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty fast, so fast, dude. If you're, you know, like, I think a lot of people don't realize like you can get they a couple years back, maybe longer, but definitely a couple years back, because I started recommending it to people that would ask this question. But you can get Ableton. There's a light version. The main limitation is that you can only have up to like 12, I think, or maybe 16 tracks in it. So that's limiting if you were producing songs. But for doing the stuff I'm talking about, it's totally fine. And it's $99, dude. And like, I know that's not free, but if you want to do edits and you just want to put like a super simple, like you could put a super simple like mastering chain on it so that you can kind of bounce it and have it like nice and loud after you do the little edit, but like a real light touch on it. But you can it's great because you can just throw a song in there. It's all drag and drop, super visual. Just, you know, couple little keystrokes to cut the thing in places you want. You can add, you know, your bars or take away or chop out a section in the middle of a song or something if it sucks and whatever. And real fast, you know. Anyway, I think it's a nice workflow if that's something you've been trying to figure out. Is like
how to been on that Ableton.
Yeah.
How long have you been Yeah.
Oh, 10 plus years, man. 10,
On
10.
Ableton?
Oh yeah, that's what I produce everything in. Yeah.
I didn't know that it had been around for that long.
Oh yeah.
10 plus years.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's now on version. I think 10's coming soon. 9.7 or something is right now.
Getting close.
Yeah, I may not be totally current with my dot version, but it's 9 something, and 10's coming, and
yeah,
it's cool. But what puts a lot of people off is they think, you know, you hit the site, and of course they're trying to sell, you know, the suite, and so that's like $800. So like I have that, but you don't need that to kind of get into the world of, you know, doing some simple edits and stuff like I'm talking about for DJing.
Pirate Bay that shit, like Kanye West. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if something's $99, I mean, come on, man. If you're out there,
yeah, sure. If you're trying to be serious, $99 isn't much to pay for.
Yeah, and
I mess with Logic a little bit. I haven't really done. I stay a little too busy, but I'm kind of familiar with it. Have you used it?
If you ever start spending a lot of time on planes, dude, then this is where you'll get the time to do it. Yeah. Because you're like, what am I going to do with my time? And you're like 6 hours from New York to San Diego. And you're like, oh, I think I'll learn a new piece of software today.
Yeah, that is a long one.
Oh,
6
yeah.
Jeez.
I've probably made that flight 100 times, dude.
Dang.
Yeah. Anyway, but well, that's some super future stuff, dude. So what other than music, man, other than that stuff, I know you said you got your times tied up doing other things. What else what can we tell people about Nashville, man? If they get there and there's nothing going on with music because Party Basics is not on the game,
then
what do you do?
There's beautiful lakes out here, rivers, a lot of outdoor stuff. I mean, we were just on the river last weekend fishing. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff to do outdoors. That's what I love about it. Being from Las Vegas, the desert, coming out here, it's beautiful, man.
What do you like to do outdoors? Like, what do you like to do the most, man?
Probably fish, fish and drink on the lake with friends. Dude, we actually this is funny. I had a party planned this weekend. I have to cancel it. People keep bugging me about it, so I just hate to cancel it. It has like 350 going and like 1,000 interested because we did this island party 2 years ago. It's a small island, but we fit like 400 people on it with boats all around it. It just ended up being this like super badass party that we brought generators and sound, and it was crazy. People came from like other cities, and I didn't do it last year, but I'm supposed to do it this weekend. But the Army, literally the Corps of Engineers, the Army called me and was like, we saw the Facebook event page. You can't have that party. And it's not just them. It's also the wildlife, basically the police. So it's like the Army and the police involved. And
they actually get in touch with you through Facebook page?
I mean, it was also, the lake isn't that big, and it was like that many people going. It was like a lot of boat owners. The marina called me. The marina owner and they own a few marinas, like the restaurants, called me in for a meeting because he wanted to sponsor it, and he knows the cops. They're like trying to help me line it up, but basically they want like paramedics and all this shit that I'm just like, it's the end of summer. I need like more. I need months. They want like 30 days notice and all these things approved. I just don't have time to do it before it's too cold, so can't do it here.
That's boss level right there. You got a party problem on your hands.
If I could pull it off, it would be boss level. Damn. What? I think I will do it like in the spring. You definitely come for that.
Huh. That'd be awesome, man. Yeah. Do you? Are there many? Speaking of which, are there? That's kind of on the more like festival tip, really. You know, outdoor big party.
Yeah.
Is there much going on with the dance music scene there in Nashville?
Yeah, man. Actually, the Halloween party, All Hallows Gala.
Yep.
Saturday, the 26th is on Further Farms. They have Further Fest out there. It's really cool in Nashville. It's like a $15 Uber from my house, literally. Yeah. But it's like an 18-minute ride, and you're on a farm in the middle of nowhere. But it's you're like $15 away back from downtown Nashville, which is still crowded. It's just like on the north side that hasn't been populated like everywhere else. It's crazy how it works like that. But yeah, so we're doing the Halloween party there, and it's a cool spot. Like, we do further fest there. We did a fest for the Eclipse. I forget who played. Damn it, someone on Pretty Lights crew played. He was really cool. Michael Menart. He was like the headliner. He's a cool dude.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a festival. It's on a farm, but they have a dope ass stage and like geodesic domes, and it's kind of on the fest tip.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about the party. Hopefully, it's not too cold. That's my only thing.
Do you end up playing some of those things yourself, or what's your?
I try not to play my own parties, but like for certain one, like that one, we don't need a headliner too bad, you know, to pack it out, because it's we do well sometimes. We'll do well on that one, so I probably will play that for like a while, just because we save money too, not booking another DJ, and I seem to do all right. I'm not trying to. I don't play like headliner parties, like, you know. But if we don't need a headliner and I hold down a dent, you know, I'll do it.
Right.
Which isn't very often, like maybe once every 3 or 4 months for like that occasion. I would get a headliner, but I don't know. It's a farm.
Well, have me come over, and you don't have to call me a headliner. Just we'll work it out.
Oh, really? You're coming? All right.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. That'd be awesome.
What are you doing for Halloween?
That's what day are you actually doing? What day is the actual event?
October 26th.
I'm free. Yeah, I'm doing 2 other things, but they're the 14th and the 21st. Those weekends.
Around anywhere close?
No. But let's talk. If you're serious, we'll talk outside of here.
We're planning it right now. I'll talk to Goalie, my partner in crime.
Yeah, it really doesn't. You know, like it really doesn't. Like travel stuff doesn't. There's really not a whole lot of benefit to it to being close to somewhere. Like I don't know why people. I mean, I think like maybe
if you're really close by chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like an international artist or something, it's like, okay, you're going to be in America and you're from the UK. Okay, that makes sense. Like you're close. But like aside from like an international flight, like it almost makes no difference nowadays. You know, like you can the flight, you know, the airline industry is so competitive with finding deals and this and that. That's why most of the time I just work out the price with the promoter and then I just take care of everything myself.
Yeah, that's how usually it's like landed is included
yeah.
in.
Yeah, because they don't need to deal with all that shit. And like, you know, all of us who travel a fair amount, we've got various, you know, credits and coupons and this and that. So it really just boils down to, you know, what's a budget that works for both of us. If we can figure that out, then we're good to go and make it happen. You know?
Make it happen, Captain.
Make it happen.
That's kind of what it boils down to.
Boils down.
Boy.
There's helicopters above me right now. Can you guys hear them?
No, I'm kidding.
That's cool, man. But yeah, we'll catch up on it outside of here if you think we can maybe figure, you know, at least entertain it, check it out. Cool, man.
Looking forward to it.
I love that. I love that outdoor stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Cool. So what else, man? Anything? Damn, it's like almost 7 o'clock. We've been bullshitting for almost 2 hours.
Oh dang, are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the Wes Smith Variety ShYo. It's 10 o'clock here.
We probably put everyone to sleep. They're all.
No, we have viewers. They're there. I see them.
You'd be surprised. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're doing shit that has nothing to do with what we're doing. But
we've got Digital House Party on here. They've been chatting with me the whole time. Hi,
Kelly. Since there's a couple people hanging out, see if anyone's got a pulse. Ask them if there's anything they want to. If there's anything they want us to chat about real quick before we drop.
I mean, Digital House Party just told me that they put juice stickers on their control vinyl. We were talking about Serato in the chat.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they from? We'll give them a quick shout out. Where are they from?
Florida.
Who?
They survived the hurricane. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Orlando, right?
Yeah, right on. Cool, man.
Tampa. I'm sorry, Tampa. My bad. Close.
Puerto Rico got jacked up, didn't they? Damn.
Yeah. God, yeah, they still are.
That's what I'm saying. They got, and it's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Like Irma, like, you know, like, I don't know if y'all read some of that stuff, but it's crazy, like how because they just didn't have, like, really, just basically didn't have the money to kind of do much about the fact that they were gonna get hit, kind of like Florida. My mother lives in Florida, so like I know at least some of the emergency systems in place to like notify and maybe help people and these kinds of things, and it still obviously took a toll on people, but Puerto Rico doesn't have any of that, man. And plus it's out there in the middle of the water. So it's not like you could just get in your car or bicycle and fucking ride.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, if it's only basically probably people with all the money, are able to evacuate and whatever. So it's just a crazy situation.
They're doing a relief fund this Saturday in Nashville, actually. That reminds me,
Awesome, dude.
The Cobra Hurricane Relief Fund, going to the American Red Cross, which maybe we can talk them out of and put it somewhere else, but
right. Well, like it's fortunately, I guess fortunately in terms of like, the one awesome thing I guess about the interwebs these days is like when these things happen, like even if you can only give 50 cents or $1 or whatever, right? It's like, that shit adds up, man. You get 10 million people from around the world, throwing in $5. That's a lot of money to help people,
Yeah.
So
shit, even $1.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you get 100 million people that can very easily give $1. That's a lot of money, dude. You know, to go for a place that's gotten beat up that bad, that's a lot of money, man. Very meaningful. So anyway, but cool, man. Well, awesome, dude. It's good hanging out, talking to you, dude.
Yeah, let's talk, man. Hopefully we get some shit popping, and hopefully I see you soon.
Yeah, I love it. Come out there, try to spend an extra day, go check out some of the beer scene. I know you like it. Maybe do something outdoors, dude. I love the outdoors, man.
Me too. We got a good, that'll be around fall too. It'll be nice.
Cool, dude. Any parting thoughts from anybody? Anything they forgot to like chat about? Any shout out? Say hey to moms, all that stuff.
Hey moms.
Hi, Mom.
Mom.
Yeah. We didn't mention one man that always gets mentioned.
We can't do it. Don't do it. It's gonna be the one episode where he's not mentioned. No, actually we will. We have to give a shout out to Eric Rigsby because he got married.
You have to. You can't not.
That dude always seems to have some reason to be getting mentioned. That guy's life is so exciting.
Dang.
At least every 2 weeks he's got some kind of mentionable.
Yeah,
that's a good one though. Marriage, that's up there.
Yep, he just got it this weekend. Congratulations.
He and his wife Kelly, I guess her last name, I don't know how to pronounce her maiden last name, but now it's Rigsby, so we're all good. that I can handle. He's awesome. We did a show or two with him out of the 30 some odd episodes. What episode number is this, Kelly? 35, 34?
This is 35. Yep. And I was just actually at their house a couple weeks ago too. They're cool.
Hey, Josh, can you believe this is 35? Can you believe that people have listened to us talk for almost 100 hours?
No. I'm gonna say 3 hours on the average, like 2.5 hours on the average.
Yeah, it's almost 100 hours.
Yep.
On that note, as we wrap up, Josh, thanks for helping us on episode 35 of the Wes Smith Variety Show. And I got to tell you, thanks to all you people that managed to hang out until the end for the nuggets that we drop. And it's a good time.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Yo big or yo home. Hey, stay classy, yo.
Stay classy, yo.
Peace. We're out. Peace.